Purpose of this call is how to use 7 steps to 720 credit score to your advantage and help you earn more money. I want to start with a couple stories, right? And story number one is how this whole thing started out. In 2012, as you probably remember, the bankruptcies were sky high and they started to fall off. And what most people did, they just dropped their fees to compete. I need more business. I need to compete, And I got a call from a bankruptcy attorney and he said, I don't want to compete by dropping my fee. I want to actually raise my fee. His Chapter 7 fee at the time was $1,500. He said, I want to move it to $1,800 and I want to give your credit program away. The reason why I like your credit program, he said, this was Ken Neely out of Gilbert, Arizona. I like your credit program because it's not credit repair and it teaches people how to rebuild their credit around the bad credit. So I said, try it out and let me know how it goes. A month later, he called me back. He said, I tracked my numbers closely. I raised my fees $300 and my same day retain rate went up 19%. And I was like, really? I said, how many bankruptcies does that mean? He said, 8 extra bankruptcies. I'm like, 8 extra bankruptcies? It's like doing the calculations in my head. I'm like, that's $16,000 extra. And that's how this whole thing started with bankruptcy. And he was my first attorney, still a client. You see him on these strategy calls. And then it just grew from there. Ethan Dunn, right in Detroit. I'm giving you different markets. Phoenix, Arizona, more affluent. Detroit, very poor area. Raises fees $400, same day retain rate went up 11%. My point is what you want to do is look at 7 steps to a 720 credit score as a revenue generator, as a value generator, and it's how you pitch it. Because not all people pitch it the same way. And I want to share with you on this, the best practices on what to do. We sent out 500,000 emails, same exact copy to the letter, verbatim, except one line. At the very end, it said, if you sign up with me, we give you free enrollment into our 7 steps or 720 credit score to help you rebuild your credit after bankruptcy. Okay? Same exact email, except that one line. The one with the credit had 118% higher response rate, 118% higher response rate. But you guys know this intuitively, or you want to be in this clients of ours. You know that people want to improve their credit. You know that people ask about the intake. The question is, how do you build value? Because the biggest problem we see out there is people that say, "Oh, I'm going to give you this credit program." I mean, it's like an afterthought, and that's not what you want to do in order to build value on why people should hire you. Get off the street from XYZ competitor who's charging $700. Why should they hire you and pay most of the time higher fees than some extra bankruptcy attorney out there? The practicality of it is this should be a 60-second add-on. This is not something that is going to take a long time. This is when someone brings up the credit score, you're going to bring it up. But I'm giving you this stuff as like data for the back of your mind and the back of your staff's mind. This is our Facebook page, right? And there's plenty of these type of success stories out there. But this is actually Cynthia Carroll's client. During my Chapter 13 bankruptcy qualifier for a new home, thank you, 720 credit score. If you go to our page, we have many, many success stories on here. People buying new cars after bankruptcy, buying homes after bankruptcy, credit score increase of 100 points, new cars, 3 new credit cards. You can use these in social media. You can do whatever you want with these. They're here for your choosing. My score increased to about 150 points. My credit card limits went up. These are questions that people have in their brain. And the reason why I know that is because I ask them, hey, tell me what's on your mind about credit. What's a win? These are the things that they tell us. So if they're telling us this, chances are your clients are thinking about this as well. Raise my credit score, refinance my car to a lower payment. I was able to buy this new car with my credit score. I did not need a cosigner. Once again, use these in your social media, absolutely free. You can go to 720 credit score and unpack it directly. Another thing you can do, go to our 7 steps of 720 credit score, Google My Business page. You're going to see 739 reviews, 4.9 stars, and just read what these people say, because these are your debtors. These are your debtors. We've had over 125,000 debtors through the program. And this is what these are the things that they're saying in real time. You can see 3 months ago, a month ago, a month ago. I mean, these are just real people, real results, 739 reviews. Obviously, you don't fake it at that level. You know, these are so random, it just goes from there. We've talked about how people can earn money, right? How you can increase your fees by doing this, right? You talked about how Neely raised his same day retain up 19%. Ethan Dunn raised his retain rate 11%, both with charging more fees. We talked about how our lead follow-up program, the response on those emails went up 119% by just including that byline. So how do you include it in your information? When people come up for information or they're asking for more information, right? Start considering showing them these little handouts, and these are all going to be sent to you so you can have them. You can use them in social media. You can use them however you want, in emails, Zoom calls, in-person meetings, whatever you want. Number one, before and after. This really happens with people who raise their credit score. And raising their credit score does not mean getting the bankruptcy off the credit report. Common misconception. Raising the credit score means rebuilding your credit around the bankruptcy. You can have 50 late payments. You can have a foreclosure. You can have bankruptcy. And all we have to do is rebuild around the bankruptcy. And this is how you do it, right? And this just shows, hey, we're going to give you this program free of charge. Car. Everyone wants to buy a car. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that's on the lips of your debtors. Your debtors are like, how long is it going to take to buy a car? How many times have they said that? This visual I love because it's so spot on. You can pay more for an old car and less for a newer car. It's that simple. All you got to do is rebuild your credit around the bankruptcy. This is not hard. And I'm speaking for you. And this is what we're going to show you what to do. We've paid for this program for you. This program is included in your bankruptcy. You don't have to worry about your credit. You don't have to worry about getting a new car. If you have a dream of buying a new house, don't worry about it. That's what we're here for. We're going to give it to you free of charge. Okay? I want to make it clear. Asterisk here. Do not sell this as a line item on the fee agreement. We have so much data on this, and it seems like every year, I get an attorney or two are like, you know, I've decided I'm going to do this. And I'm like, it's not going to work. And they're like, well, I'm going to try it. I got a good salesperson, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, people that don't have money don't want to spend money on things that they don't feel they need right now. Okay. Would they like a new car? Absolutely. Do they have the money to spend on it right now? Maybe not. This is why it's important. Get them off the street by giving them this credit program absolutely free. This visual says it all. Old car to newer car. Obviously, it's not a brand new car. It's a newer car for cheaper money. Okay. Rebuild your credit score. Okay. You don't need a clean credit report to have a high credit score. If you learn the rules and work around your mistakes, you can improve your credit score, and it doesn't have to be difficult or take a long time. Notice it's rebuild your credit score. This is not fix your credit. This is not credit repair. It's none of that, right? But I want to point something out. Number one, get rid of debt. Okay. I'm going to read this because it's so important, and it's my DNA as someone who works in credit. Can you afford your bills? If you cannot, you're going to continue to make late payments, and your credit score will continue to drop. Explore your options and take a big picture approach to your finances. In many ways, getting rid of your debt by declaring bankruptcy makes it easier to rebuild your credit score because you're not burdened with years of financial pressure. Okay? It's easier for me to sell bankruptcy for you than you'd sell it by yourself. Because if you're selling it, they're going to be like, well, I mean, he's doing the bankruptcy. Of course, he wants me to file bankruptcy. This is 720 credit score program, right? And it's a program, and it's free to your clients, absolutely free. Okay. So I give this to you because I want you to get a perspective on what we give, the value that you're providing for your clients. We have attorneys that they forget to bring it up. My best attorneys don't forget to bring it up. I mean, I know the attorneys who are the large firms around the country that have literally built their practice around adding value to the clients and giving more and serving their clients. It's a cornerstone to their practice, rebuilding the credit score, rebuilding your life after bankruptcy. And this is a key distinction. So let me walk you through what this looks like. This is our consumer-facing website. We have 720 system strategies for the attorney, 720 credit score for our clients. And the credit education course is this first thing is what you are providing to your clients, right? And what it is, it's a do-it-yourself credit education course, right? There's bite-sized lessons. I'm going to show them to you. There's action guides. It's simple, super easy to go through. And it's basically, we're going to feed these people so that they feel comfortable in knowing what they need to do to rebuild their credit score. Okay. They go to this here, right up here, member login. Every one of your clients upon enrollment gets a username and password private for them. And by the way, I say publicly, and you can say this too, is, you know, feel free to share your username and password to your friends and family members, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me. The more we get the word out about credit scoring, the more people that are in debt hear this program, they're going to come to their own accord with their own decision making. Maybe I need to file bankruptcy, right? We've had many people, many attorneys enroll the people before the bankruptcy, just saying, hey, you think you can get your credit score? You need to get your credit score up? Here, take this. Once they're in the program, they're going to realize, oh my gosh, I got to look at my bankruptcy options. So once they get their username and password, they're going to log in. They're going to see only this first one, this main course. This is a program down here, which is specifically for senior citizens on Social Security. So this main program, it's a very simple, easy to follow program. And the reason why we do it this way is because we want people to consume the information. If they don't consume the information, it's a fail. So it all starts with sort of like a course introduction, and then it goes straight into the lessons. The lessons all have the same format. You can see this is a video, 7 minutes and 33 seconds. This is a summary, and here are the downloads. Okay. And you can see, you know, each one has this has action guides and templates if you need something. Next lesson, video, 9 minutes and 42 seconds. Summary, transcription. Next lesson, video, 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Summary, transcription. Very easy. Now, these videos, for those who've been with us a long time, you probably remember them. They were much longer, right? I had some videos at 15, 20 minutes. We realized that the attention span were just dropping off. So what we did is we cut them way down. And then what we did is we created these question answer sessions, right? And these question answer sessions, so actually before I go that, you can see the 7 steps that we go through. Errors on the credit report, establishing credit cards, establishing credit with installment lines, and then quick credit strategies, credit reports, negotiating collection, protecting your score. Here's the reality. These first 3, everything you need to know. If you do these 3, it's the whole ball game. Okay? It's this, it really is this simple. And errors on the credit report is getting errors off the credit report. 38% of the time, we find an error on the credit report. Now, if you're working with a consumer attorney, like we have a lot of attorneys working with Schumacher Lane because of the integration here, this is the first one's all done for them, which is a whole nother added value you can talk about in the system. 2, establishing credit with credit cards. This is critical because if they don't establish new credit with credit cards, we're never going to get the boost. Okay. And then establishing credit with installment line. This is like a credit rebuilder program. This is a car loan or a furniture loan or something like that. I want to make it clear if you watch these videos, we're not advocates of going out and buying things for the heck of it, just to raise your credit score. This is okay, what can we do? What do we need to do to rebuild around the bankruptcy so you can buy that car or buy that home, et cetera, at a really good rate? Okay. So this is the credit lessons, and the categories are this question answer session. This question answer session is turned into the most how our clients actually consume the information the most, whether on recordings or they call in and ask questions from us. Hey, what are we doing? What about this nuance? And the reason why I did it is because the practicality is on a 5 or 10-minute video lesson. I can't cover enough. We do it so we can be in touch with the client. We can hear what's changing in the marketplace. If things change in the marketplace, we can change the lessons. And at the same time, just answer their questions more in depth. I welcome all of you to join our question answer sessions. We have them for the most part, the second or the third Tuesday of every month. Just watch the emails that come out. And it's another great way for you to generate business from your bankruptcy leads. Forward them to our question answer session. They can hear about it. They're going to hear people online asking their questions after bankruptcy, and they're very transparent about it. It's sort of therapeutic to hear people talk about issues that you had, and it's therapeutic to share your success stories, which is another reason why we do that. So I really invite all of you to do that. These first three things, we talked about it. One, got to get the errors off the credit report. 2, credit cards, got to get credit cards. And 3, the installment lines. If you just do that, you're done. We talk a lot about getting errors off the credit report. The reason why we do that is because it's so important. When we get someone who gets the errors off the credit report, our support tickets go down. It's such a win for us as from a 720 credit score perspective. Besides managing your debt, we'll help you rebuild your credit using our proprietary plan. So declaring bankruptcy will help solve your financial problems and ease your stress and worry. And then we talk about your debt, filing your bankruptcy, cases discharged. Most attorneys stop here. These additional steps are free to our clients. We have a special relationship with leading post-bankruptcy credit improvement company, 720 Credit Score. And here's what we do. We pay for your membership. We pay for enrollment. This is the we, meaning you, the bankruptcy firm, pays for your enrollment, the 7 steps of 720 credit score. Well, you'll learn how to rebuild your credit score to 720 in 12 to 24 months. The 12 to 24 months is a hedge for me. It happens many times faster than that. It all depends on how quickly they implement the steps. That's really what matters. And obviously where their credit is to begin with. But 12 to 24 months is very safe from my side and from your side. One-on-one credit review, 720 credit score review, your credit report for errors from your bankruptcy in a phone appointment. If errors are found, 720 team will send out certified letters to the credit bureaus to request they fix it. So this is where Schumacher Lane would meet with your debtor, run their credit report, compare their credit report to the discharge papers off Pacer, send out certified letters on their behalf. You're doing nothing. In 45 days, we use the law for you, number 6, the 720 credit score team would review the credit report to see if the errors are off the report. Most of the time they're fixed, by far. I mean, most of the time. And if they're not, their team will get them removed via the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. We're probably coming up with 10,000 reviews. 42% of it, it's like clockwork. Around 42% there, we find an error, but they're always fixed. Because keep in mind, we are not disputing errors like late payments. We're only disputing errors that are errors. And that's a key distinction between what we're doing in credit repair, right? We're disputing errors, right? And that's why errors can be fixed. And I can say 100% of the time it's fixed. Common question I get is, does Schumacher Lane pay referral fees? Yes, many times they do fee share. You got to talk to them about it. It's based on volume, right? If a firm is doing 5 or 10 bankruptcies a month, they don't, obviously not 100% of the clients review their credit report. So it all depends on how many appointments, how many clients you get to review their credit reports per month, and then they will do fee sharing. Absolutely. That's a whole nother side conversation. And the best part about all this is 720 credit score, with this new relationship we have with Evergreen Financial Counseling, which is a first course, credit counseling course that all your debtors have to take, this can be free. Like, you don't even have to pay us for this because Evergreen pays. So it's just one of those things that there is no reason why you shouldn't lean into this. One, lean into the value. And two, if you don't want to pay for it, send your debtors to Evergreen Financial Counseling and they will enroll their clients for free. You don't even have to enroll them, and then they pay us. Before I go, and I'm going to open this up to questions, I want to show you one other thing that we've been working on. And this specifically is for people who bifurcate, right? So there's a lot of bifurcation out there, and people ask all the time. They're like, a common question I would get is, how can I use 720 to increase my collections? So we tried a lot of different things. I have attorneys that say you can't get 7 steps to 720 credit score until you pay your bankruptcy off in full, et cetera, et cetera. And then we came up with this idea. So this is a credit reporting opt-out addendum. So I'm going to read through this, and then we're going to open this up for questions and answer. I see you got a question in the chat. The opt-out addendum is intended to inform you, this is the client reading this, right, about the reporting of your monthly payments to the credit bureaus in conjunction with the bankruptcy service provided. So just so we're clear, this is for an attorney that bifurcates their papers, their bankruptcy, and is sort of like interviewing someone. And the question is, should I file this case in advance before payment? Because as you know, if you bifurcate, there's a handful of clients that screw up all your collections. It's not the majority, right? It's 5 or 10% of your clients that miss like 50% plus of your payments. That's what screws up a collection record. So please carefully review the following. Let me go back to this addendum. Recording the credit bureaus. As part of the bankruptcy service provided to you by your law firm name, your monthly payments will be reported to all 3 major credit bureaus. Payment history is the biggest factor in your credit score, and by reporting on-time payments, you will build a positive payment history and potentially improve your credit profile. Consolidated Capital, the servicer, this program will report a secured installment loan to your credit report, and your credit report and your report your payments each month. You authorize Consolidated Capital to report to the bureaus. Both on-time and late payments will be reported. The cost of service is $10 per month per person, which will be added to your monthly payment. So the opt-out option. If you do not wish to have your monthly payments reported to credit bureaus as described in Glove, you can opt out below, and they got to check. Either way, they got to sign it. So the concept, and I still don't have data on this from my attorneys that are testing this, is if someone is not going to, so the $10 per month, let me back up, you're just going to pass through that fee to the debtor. So if their monthly payments are $100 a month, their monthly payments are now $110 a month. Okay. And the concept is, if someone doesn't want to pay $10 a month to ensure their credit score goes up, that's like a red flag for you of like, hey, do a layaway program with these people. Don't do a buy here, pay. Don't do a file now, pay later, because it's going to screw up your collections. And if we can cut down on these people that don't pay 50, 60, 70% of their payments, we're going to significantly improve your collection rate and your wasted time. And this all came up because our debtors or our attorneys are saying, gosh, these collections are killing me. And we have some attorneys that have bankruptcy collections in excess of $1 million uncollectible debt. So this is one way we're solving that. Cynthia, you had a question on getting a one-on-one credit review.
I just want to know how my clients sign up for that.
Do we already do that with Schumacher with you or not?
I think so, but I don't know. I think I have that. I think after my cases are discharged, and that's what I need to be clear on, so I can make sure I'm doing the right thing.
So one, we will double check to make sure that you're in it, right? And if you're not, we'll circle back with you. So there's 2 aspects how it works. When our attorneys have work with Schumacher, they get a different set of emails and different set of text messages saying, hey, it's time for you to sign up. We call it a platinum review. Okay. So for those attorneys that are on the call that use either Schumacher or some other attorney, you want to make it very clear you've managed this. Like, I'm not going to stop at your debt. Like, look what I'm giving you. I'm giving you the credit improvement program and review credit report for errors, et cetera, et cetera. And you just want to make it as seamless as possible. With the key number you want to look at is how many people are you filing that are actually reviewing the credit report. So the filing to the review of the credit report is the key number, because it's going to impact your fee sharing. It's going to impact your back end numbers, et cetera, et cetera. That's a key distinction that you want to look at. That number should be somewhere between 40 and 50%. Okay. In most cases, when I'm dealing with people that do this either in-house or they do it, with some random firm where it's not automated and tested, the review rate can be under 10%, which is not really helping the debtor, and it's not helping you with your practice. Cynthia, does that answer your question? So basically, email and text message, you get them. Thank you for answering.
Yes.
Any other questions? This, Cynthia, you were one of our first.
I know. I was looking at the dates. I was.
What date? What year did you come in? Did you come in 2000? Did we meet at San Diego NACPA like in 2013?
Yes.
Wow, there it is. 11 years. So grateful, Cynthia. Thank you.
Grateful.
You're awesome.
I'm not sure how to approach this. I come into your office and I want to file bankruptcy. But I might want to go someplace else. It's cheaper. Tell me what you're going to say to me now.
Okay. So are we okay? So whether we're on the phone or we're in person, if you're in person, it's even easier because they vested, they came in, right?
I don't see people initially anymore.
You don't? Okay, yeah. So you're talking to them on the phone, right? So you just want to you want to start off. You want to ask questions. Tell me what's going on, Robert. Let's role play a little bit. So you're the debtor, Robert. Tell me what's going on. I'm so glad you called.
And I had a repo 3 years ago.
Okay.
Even though I gave the car back, the son of a bitches are suing me.
You know what? They never stop. Tell me what else.
Oh, then a couple of years ago, I got evicted.
Yeah. So is that showing on your credit report?
Yeah, that's what I owe.
Yeah. Okay. So how much you owe total? Like, let's just count this out.
I never figured that out. That requires math.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just get ballpark, Robert. Are we talking like over $10,000?
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Okay. So you over $10,000. You got a repo a couple years ago. You got evicted. You're trying to catch up, and all these collection companies are pounding your phone. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
It's exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. So why did you decide why are you calling me? Well, like what was the emphasis? What was the catalyzing point where you're like saying,
I'm thinking of filing bankruptcy, but my cousin told me I'll never get credit again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the greatest misconception that I hear every single day. And let me make one thing abundantly clear. I'm convinced that the banks started this lie because they want to keep you paying. Here's the practicality of bankruptcy and specifically Robert Adams Law Firm, and put your name, right? We don't just discharge your debt. And I can send you flyers and show you this, explain it. But of course I can discharge your debt. Piece of cake. That's what I do. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I've helped 10,000 people with their bankruptcy. I've been doing this for 40 years. But the reason why people choose me is because we don't just stop at discharging your debt. I'm going to enroll you in this program. Okay. I work with 720creditscore.com. They've helped 125,000 people that filed bankruptcy to rebuild their credit report. Okay. 125,000. Not only that, we're going to have them. I'm going to pay them. I'm going to make sure they review your credit report after the bankruptcy to make sure no errors are on it. And when you start rebuilding your credit around the bankruptcy, and get all the errors off, your credit score is going to pop. You're going to have a 720 credit score in somewhere between 12 to 24 months. You got to follow their program. These are their numbers. This is their their talking points, not mine. And then you'll be able to get a car, potentially buy a home if that's in your future. But you should not worry about
my clients into the review of the credit. What mechanism?
The platinum review. You mean the review of the credit report with Schumacher Lane?
Yeah. Well, that extra cost or what?
No, it's all no.
Okay, the platinum review.
Yeah.
How do I enroll my people?
Well, you use Evergreen Credit Counseling, right?
Yes.
So I'll have either Mark or Deanne will reach out to you to make sure you're on the list. So make sure your clients are being funneled for the platinum review. And no, then there's nothing for you to do. All you have to do is tell the clients, watch for these emails with 720 credit score, because they're going to, after the bankruptcy, they're going to get you in, they're going to send you links and so you can sign up for these appointments and get your credit report reviewed, et cetera, et cetera. So all I need to do is just get me to the 5-yard line. That's it.
Okay. So you're going to sign up with me as my client.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you're automatically going to be enrolled in the 720 strategies.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay attention to the email.
Not strategies. So that's our attorney facing site. 720 credit score.
So I'm enrolling you at my cost, not yours, the 720 credit score.
Yep.
Second of all, I'm enrolling you in our platinum credit review.
Yep.
After the bankruptcy is discharged, there'll be a thorough review of your credit reports.
Yep.
And any errors there, we will then go in and correct.
We will they're going to send out certified letters on the client's behalf. No cost to them. They're going to rerun the credit report in 45 days. Make sure the errors are off. And 92% of the time they get off. But when they don't, they'll file a lawsuit under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And this is all part of the program. And by the way, Robert, another thing, if you give us your past clients, right? Let's just say you have emails for 500 past clients.
No.
We can put your past clients through. We can go back 4 years. And the reason why we do that is because we can generate reviews for you, right? It's an easy way to generate reviews. It's an easy way. I generated Lloyd Kohler 180 reviews in like 6 months. He gave me 1,800 people, and I went and I dripped and I dripped and I dripped. And all I did was say, I'm going to give you this first. I'm going to give this to you. When they raised their hand, then I said, would you give us a review?
Okay. Now I send you, by and large, 99% or 95%. We have the name, we have the phone number, and we have the email.
Mm-hmm. That's all I need.
Okay. So I go through every client that has been discharged. Well, we go back to 18, but you may not wish to go.
I can only go back 4 years.
So we start at 20.
Yep.
Then someone in your organization is going to help us affect that, who I send that information to.
Piece of cake.
Okay. Now, those people, they will start getting emails saying they want to do what? Do a platinum review.
Yeah, but the emails are a little different, but basically we're going back to them from you saying, this is something I'm now offering my clients. And because I didn't offer it when you were a client, I'm going to give it to you free of charge. All of a sudden they're like, whoa, my bankruptcy attorney's giving me some free charge. And when they sign up, guess what we say? Would you give Robert Adam a review?
I have my clients I've done everything, including sending emails and say, press this button.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've had people that tell me they want to take me out to dinner
Yeah.
But
They won't give a
do
review.
the fucking review.
I'll tell you, Robert, the key to reviews, and we've generated thousands and thousands of reviews. We do not ask for a review until we give something of value first. That's the key. You can't, you got to add, you got to build. It's a law of reciprocity. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy just cleaned up my credit report. They don't know that it's free. Like they're thinking, oh my gosh, what's he paying for all this stuff?
Okay, well, you sold me. And we just have to get my daughter involved with it.
Okay, well, just let us know. Robert, thanks for the question. Luke Holman just said, not a question. Please email me these handouts and success stories. I'm going to roll out new automation emails or 2 to highlight this. Thank you, Luke. What else, guys? What else? Rich, I see you on. You are one of the key reasons of Jacob Goodman's success, right? You know, the way you handle that front end for him and 3 pillars. Share about how you pitch 720 and the review and all that stuff, right? It give a little perspective because you know it's different than what I do. I mean, if it's different, just you do it your way, spin it your way, and I'd love to hear from anyone on. Mark, after Rich, you jump in. I just want to hear different ideas on how to do it.
So I think just a big picture or overall answer your question, I keep things concise. I don't go say we're going to offer you 720creditscore.com for free of charge. You can look that up. If you start getting too far in the weeds, they start asking questions and they go down a little rabbit hole with it. So I just keep it concise. And with Robert's question, I think it's a good question, is what if somebody else is in my office and they want to go to somewhere cheaper down the street? Mm-hmm. So I say, well, first of all, I'm not here just to help you get out of debt. Every bankruptcy attorney you're going to talk to in the entire state is going to talk to you about getting out of debt. I take things a step further. I want to solve all of your problems with bankruptcy instead of just helping you get out of debt. That's the easy part. So in addition to helping you get out of debt and getting your creditors off your back, I'm also going to help you fix your credit by enrolling you at no additional cost into 720creditscore.com. So if you follow the process and follow those principles, you should have a good credit score, 700 and better, give or take, 12 months, depending on how well you follow that. In addition, 1 in about 4.5 people that file bankruptcy end up having a creditor issue later on. If that happens to you, that's additional headache, additional stress, prevents you from growing your credit. So in addition to the bankruptcy, we're going to watch your credit for 4 years. If something happens, we're going to remove that for you at no additional cost, no additional headache for you. A couple of weeks ago, we just had somebody call us 2 years later. They're having credit issues. They can't get a good credit score because their creditors are still violating the rights and reporting negatively on the credit. She let us know. We got involved, got it fixed for. So that's what we do for our clients. In addition, if anybody's charging you less than what I'm charging you, they probably can't dedicate the time they need to do a good job with the bankruptcy and offer all of these additional services.
Very good. Very good. I really like that credit issue for 4 years because that's drafting off Schumacher's 4-year time frame. And the creditor issue, I've never thought about it like that. That's really good. Really good. Mark, what about you?
So a lot of the times, if I'm talking to a lead, like if we're doing one of our short form consults or a long form consult, what I'll tell people is just one of the big misconceptions with bankruptcy, what a lot of people's families telling them, what trusted people in their lives are telling them, is that they shouldn't file bankruptcy because 1, they'll never be able to establish credit. 2, they'll never be able to buy a home in the future. So when I'm on calls with people, I bring it up like that. Like, like there's a lot of misconceptions about bankruptcy that are going around. So I want to make a couple of things clear. What we'll do, file your bankruptcy. But more than that, afterwards, we'll put you in a position where you'd be able to purchase a home in 2 years. The way that we do that is through 7 steps to a 720 credit score. Essentially, it's a roadmap. It's going to show you step by step exactly what to do to build your credit score up and add positive credit history. So the bankruptcy is not going to have nearly the impact that you believe it's going to have on you. You're going to be back up on your feet within 12 months, typically within 2 years, be able to buy a home. And from there, you'll have credit cards. You'll be able to get loans, vehicles, homes, whatever you need to get. So it's really not as bad as it seems, as long as you do the right things after bankruptcy. And we're going to make sure that we put you in that program. So we'll tell you exactly what to do.
Love it. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the home. We had a client And I remember specifically, he called me on Christmas Eve. Mark, come on back on that. Because I'm going to reference this,
Yep.
is he called me on Christmas Eve, and I thought to myself, like, what's this guy calling me on Christmas Eve? Because I knew he had my phone because we chatted for some reason. And anyways, I listened to the voicemail, and he's like, I just want to let you know, like, I'm in Christmas Eve in our house that I bought 2 years and 2 days after my bankruptcy discharge. I mean, 2 years and 2 days. Like he planned it out. And I remember talking to him before. He called me and he's like, are you sure I need to, like, bankruptcy's not going to hurt me? I'm like, no, bankruptcy's not going to hurt. Right. So 2 years and 2 days after the bankruptcy, that happens. Right. All you have to do is follow the program. And it's that simple. Get the errors off the credit report, get the 3 credit cards and the installment line. It's that simple. It's not rocket science here, right? And there's not like any like writing letters for months and months and months. So make sure your clients know that it's easy, like you said, Mark. And just so you know, Mark is, a lot of you are hearing from Mark. You're seeing emails from Mark. Mark is handling a lot of the sales, or all the sales, with 720 right now, so we can service more. He has we have a cadre of products that we're testing. Mark, share what we just did with Kohler, past clients for student loans.
Oh, so yeah. So with Kohler, what we did, they had reached out to us, I believe. They said that they were interested in getting into the student loan game. So Phil had developed, we have an email sequence similar to our lead follow-up with bankruptcy, and we have a Facebook ad campaign similar to our bankruptcy ad campaign. And so we launched that with student loans, and you wouldn't, Phil, I know we went over the numbers. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that raised their hands and said, yeah, I'm interested. Like, I need to get my student loans taken care of. If you guys can do that, I'm more than happy to communicate with you. I always tell attorneys whenever we have one-on-ones, like, the first attorney that really dedicates a lot of time and energy into the student loan practice is going to be a millionaire. It's like the amount of people that are out there with student loans that they can't handle is just, I think it's higher than anyone truly understands.
So
I think that
I'm going to show one thing, because I just couldn't believe it when I saw this. So we launched just last Wednesday, and as you can see, scheduled events, student loan assessment. This is for one day, Friday the 19th, 23 calls, 23 appointments in one day. Okay. This is going to his past client list. So we all have past client lists. Like, every one of you have past client lists. Okay. And we send a series of emails and texts, and Mark and his team get these people on the phone, qualify them based on what you want them to qualify, and only transfer the live ones. I know you're probably thinking, I can't handle 23 calls. Well, guess what? That's what we're here for. And we just basically take off the people who don't qualify and give you exactly what you want, and we live transfer them. Okay. The student loan thing, we've been talking about this. Mark and I have been talking about this for months, waiting for this to break. We're now starting to advertise for a couple people. We can, if you have not gone back to your past clients, do it. We can do it for you if you don't have the bandwidth, but it starts the conversation to generate more fees. And as a reminder, I've said this on previous calls, Ken Neely is on the high side. He charges for student loans to incorporate through the new DOJ guidance. He charges $199 a month for 36 months. Okay. That's $7,200. 36 months. On the low side, we have people charging $1,500 or $2,000. Low side. So my point is, it's like another bankruptcy, right? And it's not complicated. Okay. So bottom line is 720 is here for you in 2024. We are going to be at NACBA in Colorado Springs. We have a discount code. If you're going to NACBA and you want a discount code off NACBA, NACBA gave us one. I don't have it top of my head, but I'll include in the email, and I'll send this blast out. I appreciate you guys being clients. Please reach out to any of us, reply to any of our emails you get, and say, please have someone call me regarding this. Student loans, credit reporting, using Evergreen, whatever you want. We're here to support you. Grateful for your time and your participation on this call. And we'll talk to you next month. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.